LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I
filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
what do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And good evening, everyone. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me over the course of the next 2 hours, 800-848-9222. So just 7 minutes ago, I was popping confetti like it's New Year's Day, but I was doing it in Studio 77, part of the Catsimatidis family Oscar party night. So, Matt Blaze, where were you, my friend?
I was here working with the Anthony Cumia show.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I did see you. I didn't even get a chance to say hello to you when I walked in because you were in the midst, well, I think an interview, because there was somebody with a camera, and I can't tell if regular picture cameras are now video cameras.
Right. You can't tell the difference.
So I believe you were in an interview with James Flippin.
I was.
And I waited for a second, and then I was like, oh, yeah, they're taking video. This is not a picture.
Right.
And I just ducked underneath and did the dip out of it.
I didn't even see you. So you didn't see us popping the confetti just a second ago?
I heard it. I was able to
hear
hear it from back here, but I did not see it. But I see you were wearing your tuxedo, looking very dapper.
Well, what a party. It was a nice party.
Yeah.
A nice Oscars party,
From what I could tell, yes.
Well.
I mean, and I will say, we had food here.
Right.
They did bring us some food down here. They were coming to us as I was doing the show with Anthony Cumia. So I did get to eat some good food and talk to a couple people that I don't usually see because we're here when there's nobody here. So I talked to a few people that I say hello to, and that was it. That was it for me.
Interesting.
And then I went and hid in my control room.
Right. Which is what we normally do.
That's exactly
what we normally do. Right. But it was wonderful, though.
It was great. I had a hot dog with the boss.
Well, there you go.
I did.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No, it does not.
Inquiring minds want to know. What did you guys talk about?
Well, he said we were standing by the hot dogs, and John Catsimatidis said to me, he goes, "How's the hot dogs?" I said, "I don't know what to have one. You want?" He goes, "Yeah, give me a dog." We had hot dogs together.
Well, there you go.
That was it.
There you go.
An Oscar party night. That's what I like. We had all sorts of food here.
For types.
Everyone.
All types of food.
And, listen, I still have the palate of a third grader. So I had the chicken fingers, French fries. That's
I didn't see the chicken fingers.
Wings.
I saw the great donuts. I saw all the things don't tell Liz in Florida. I didn't touch it. The fruit, the pineapple, I'm not supposed to have it.
They brought me an ice cream cone.
All that ice cream. But you know what's the best thing down there right now? For people like me and you?
What's that?
Java. Coffee.
Oh. Well, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, well, I do.
For me, it's Coke Zero and Monster.
Well, I had a few Diet Cokes. Don't tell Liz. And now I got the Diet Coke because I've got to be on the air until 1 a.m. in the morning.
You got the Java.
I got the Java. Well, thank you, Matt Blaze. We are starting this way. I spent the weekend thinking about this, folks. Houston, we've got a problem, except it's in America's largest city. Our mayor, Mamdani, and his wife, he won't denounce her actions. Her social media likes of pure bigotry, of anti-Semitism. The mayor talking about she's a private citizen. I thought about something just recently. Does the mayor think that we are downright stupid? Is the mayor and his wife, and I want you folks to think about this, are they engaging in a good cop, bad cop scenario? Do they actually share the same views? Why won't he denounce her social media likes, or at least ask his wife to clarify publicly where she stands? But you know what? It sounds like, and it seems like the mayor, he's mayor social media. So right before air, I'm looking at a photo of him, and he was apparently in Harlem shooting a jump shot, a three-pointer, with a member of the New York Knicks, and he made the shot, right? So he's mayor social media. But boy, oh boy, seems like social media is turning on him. The mayor in hot water is meeting with some Jewish leaders tomorrow. But others are calling it nothing but a photo op. So the mayor is meeting with hand-picked Jewish leaders to discuss concerns, but critics say, again, it's nothing more than a photo op. This hour, and we see all of your telephone calls coming in, this hour I'm also talking with a retired, remarkable police officer who is now a businessman in Nutley, New Jersey. His name is John Mancini, and he worked at the West Orange, New Jersey Police Department. He says what officers are going through, particularly in New York City, that officers around the world, around the country are watching what's going on in New York City. And John Mancini says it's breaking his heart. And in particular, this mayor and this mayor's relationship with the NYPD. 800-848-9222. I see a few of you want to talk about the Oscars. We'll get to all of that. But mayor social media, right? That's Mom Donnie. Mayor social media. But I want you folks to listen to this lady on Instagram. It seems like social media, he loves social media, but social media is not showing him the same love.
Did Mamdani have lunch with a member of ISIS, an ISIS supporter, a terrorist? I don't know how I missed this the first time, but dude is in the video doing the hand signal with his fingers. You know what I'm talking about? Signaling that he is a member or supporter of ISIS. Pay attention to him. Right there. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Looks pretty familiar, yeah? We've seen other people do that little finger signal. So now we have Mamdani inviting people into his office that actually openly, because that looks pretty openly, support a terrorist organization. We have his wife liking posts supporting terrorism, and we have Mamdani defending terrorists and blaming white supremacists. This is an effing nightmare. This man is in charge of NYC, one of our greatest cities in this country. Is that the man that we should have representing this flag and what it stands for? Unfreaking believable.
I spent the weekend thinking about this, and we see all of your calls. Clearly, you folks want to talk about this. Every line is lit up. We'll get to them in just a moment. But Mayor social media. It seems like social media is not showing him the same love. I want you to listen to this now. Actor, comedian Michael Rappaport on the mayor of New York City.
Zoran the Moron, a.k.a. the first Muslim mayor of New York. Make sure everyone addresses Zoran the Moron as the first Muslim mayor of New York, because he reminds us about it every single day. That's your new name, Zoran the Moron, first Muslim mayor of New York City. I'm old enough to remember when David Dinkins was the mayor of New York City. He wasn't going around every single day saying, I'm the first black mayor of New York City. And I'm sure somehow, some way, his cronies, his group, his social media handlers will figure out a way to find Islamophobia in what I'm saying or what someone else is saying in the next 24 hours. It's not Islamophobia. It's phobia. It's liar phobia. It's artist phobia. It's Islamophobia phobia. We have a phobia of You are totally full of Zoran the Moron, first Muslim mayor of New York City.
So that was the point that I made on Friday. because I've really been thinking about this, and we've really gone downhill, folks. And, Mamdani is not the first minority mayor. We've had Dinkins, we've had Eric Adams, we've had 2 black mayors. And neither of them walked around every day talking about, look at my blackness. They tried to assimilate into general society, which is the way it should be. Leaders have to represent the entire city. And let me just say this, and I've been making this point. I'm not going to name names. But you've got some TV reporters in New York City that are despicable what they are doing with Mamdani. They are apologists for the man. So, again, I don't want to name names because I know them all very well on a personal level. And I don't want to, frankly, cause any friction. But there's one in particular on a major station that it's like he's on Mamdani's payroll, the questions that he asked the mayor. And so here's what I'm trying to say. If you think for 1 second that Mamdani, and I'm not asking him to apologize for his faith. No one should be forced to apologize for their faith. But if you think that Mamdani's going to do that, the mayor says you've got another thing coming.
Does this make you feel as if you are expected to somehow apologize for your faith?
I think there are some who would love if I did so, but they will always be disappointed because I will never apologize for who I am, for my faith, and for the fact that there's so many more like me in the city. And what unites all of us is the fact that we're New Yorkers.
I've seen you get emotional in the past when talking about your faith and talking about the ways in which people have disparaged you in particular. How do you handle those moments? How do you keep it in?
It's difficult. There are critiques when you're the mayor of the city that you'll receive every day. When the critiques are due to your policies or your views, you can stomach them. You have to be able to engage with them.
Right.
What we're talking about are critiques on the basis of my faith. Mm-hmm. And those are critiques that extend to so many more people. And they're frankly not just critiques. We're talking about racism and bigotry. And to accept that, to turn a blind eye to it, it's to allow for that kind of an animus to fester.
No, Mr. Mayor, no one's slamming your faith, but you're the one that's bringing Ramadan events to the Blue Room of City Hall. Let's start with your telephone calls. Dominic Carter here with you until 1 a.m. The number to reach us live right now, 800-848-9222. Viviana, line 5, Brooklyn. Good evening, young lady. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. I also struggle with having to watch sugar here and there, so I'll keep you in prayer as well. And I just appreciate you being so honest and receiving different.
Hey, but wait, Viviana. But wait, Viviana.
Yes,
I got to tell you the truth, right? Matt Blaze set me up. He set me up. They've got like 5 big things of fresh fruit. They've everything I'm not supposed to eat: hot dogs, hamburgers, barbecue chicken, fried chicken, everything. Any type of mixed drink you want. That's what they had at this Oscars party tonight. Oh, and so I tried to do my best. I mean, as much as expected. Well, but anyway, go ahead.
You think God is going to help you to stay away from those things that are going to continue to hurt your body, but if not, we'll digress into something else. I so am feeling the same way. When you started the show, you said, Houston, we have a problem here, okay? And one of the other things that I wanted to add on the pile is that Mamdani is hiding behind his face. What brand of Muslim faith does he have? It's more like the Islamists who want to take over, not the ones that want to assimilate. But that I digress in that. One of the things that I'm seeing is if he wanted to be loyal to America, to be loyal even as the mayor of New York City, he should have been right next to Tish saying those two were terrorists, and that's a terrorist activity, and I will not accept that here.
He won't do
But
it.
I think
He won't do it.
No, because
he said it
wants to
48
attack
hours
them.
later. He said it 48 hours later. But no, to your point, Viviana, Tish said it day of when it
Wonderful.
happened. And so, you know, again, I don't know.
We have to speak about it, just like you're speaking about it,
right?
Dominic.
But let me tell you another problem that I have. Let me tell you another problem that I have. So, see, I have to be careful because how much is too much, and then how much is piling on, which is what Mamdani wants. So then he gets to play the victim card. If people like me pile on too much. And so I've seen all the videos that people have been sending me regarding 5 a.m. Muslim prayers in the middle of the street of Brooklyn and so on. I don't care. I don't care what the ordinance say. I don't care what Eric Adams may have started. This should not be happening in the city of New York. Do that in private. 5 a.m. in the morning? 5 a.m. in the morning? And in Times Square? And in Times Square?
Taking over Times Square. Dominic, can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
I agree with you 100% in terms of we have the mayor now, and now we can take over the streets. No, that's not New York. So the other thing I wanted to point out is what happens, and that's why I'm applauding you and others that are speaking out, myself as well. People in London, England, didn't speak out until they were firmly entrenched. Now is the time we have to say, we're New York, we're New Yorkers, you're not taking over. This is our town. This is our city. You may work within our area, and yes, you got elected by, was it 1.5 of 8 million people, but that doesn't make it a mandate. So, you know, we have to speak up, and people in London, England are telling us, wake up, America. Well, they have Patterson, New Jersey, Dearborn, Michigan.
Absolutely.
They are trying to do a whole town in Texas.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So
you're doing the best.
So you know, Viviana, at this point I have to say 1001, 1002, 1003 because I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best not to focus on why we're in this jam. I'm trying my best not to focus on the real reason of who sold us completely out. And now is as quiet as can be. But I'm not. Let me change gears. So when I say I have to balance, so I get people send me a lot of videos, and I have to be honest with you, and I'll be honest with you, Viviana. I can't look at every video that you send me because and everybody thinks that I have time to look at the video that they think is important. But so Nikki. And I did it because Nikki is a mom raising her teenage daughter, and her teenage daughter is doing well. And so she said, check out Jennifer Rivera's 2332 video. And to me, the video is so vile. It's the only reason why I won't play it on the air. It's a woman, and her name is Jennifer Rivera, 2332. Right. And she directs it to Iran. I'm just summarizing it. She should be picked up tonight, by the Secret Service. She's actively urging Iran to assassinate President Trump in the strongest of terms. And then she says, if you can't get to Trump, get his kids. And she's actively, and so, again, I would say 40% of the videos, I'm saying I can't look at all of them. I just don't have that amount of time. And so, but something, because it was from Nikki, I said, okay, I'll take a look. I started not to, but I looked at it. And Nikki says, please talk about it tonight on the show. And then she says, God bless. And I'm talking about it because this is how vile this video is. And so what's happening is, Viviana, tensions are rising. And Mamdani is not doing anything to lower the temperature. It seems like he's on an agenda to push a pro-Muslim point of view. I mean, why is the mayor not cracking down on these 5 a.m. prayers in the middle of Brooklyn with that loud noise? Nobody wants to hear that nonsense.
Can you imagine, Dominic, that he told his people, come out en masse and vote me in. I'm going to give a green light to that. Who knows?
Right.
Have you heard the videos, Dominic? Have you heard the videos of the clerics now?
Yes, I have.
That are talking.
Yes, I have.
And saying, they've sent us here to correct the Americans. They're stupid.
Right.
You know, so you are sounding the alarm, and I'm giving you a 5-star rating, my brother.
Well, thank you.
Because
That's very kind of you.
If we don't wake up now, we're not going to have a New York, and we have fought too hard for New York.
Right.
I'm mad, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Right. Well, thank you for the lovely telephone call, and you have a beautiful Sunday night and a beautiful week. And so again, folks, let me be very clear. Every show is a balance for me. How much? I already know there's an avalanche of evidence against Mamdani and against his agenda. But I also know that he wants people like me to pile on so then he can play the victim card. And so every day it's a balance. It's an absolute balance. What we're going to do at this point is take a break, and we're going to get to many more of your calls on this Sunday night. And also this hour, an interesting conversation with a retired police officer that has had it in terms of what's going on with law enforcement. And I'm talking about a wonderful gentleman. His name is John Mancini. He worked for the West Orange, New Jersey Police Department. And he says what NYPD officers are going through is breaking his heart.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night.
What do they say? You can take the person out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the person. Jasmine Crockett, a security official, one-time security official with her. Dominic Carter with you folks. So we have a lot going on this hour, and we have a lot of telephone calls. And again, I'm going to repeat what I said at the top of the show. Matt Blaze is part of the crew that set me up. You heard him say that he saw me. I didn't see him. And I'm out there doing an interview with all that food, and he didn't pull me aside. All of that food that the Catsimatidis family was kind enough at this Oscars party tonight. And I'm not an Oscars party type guy. I'm not an Oscars type guy to begin with, Matt Blaze. Are you?
I am not, but the food.
The food.
That's what I knew. I knew it was Oscar party night. And I knew that I was going to have to work, but I was like, that means there's going to be food. Because whenever the Catsimatidis throw a party,
oh, forget it.
The food is off the hook.
Forget it.
Every time.
So why didn't you pull me away and pull me into the studio? Don't laugh now.
Because I saw you hobnobbing with the Oscar crowd, Dominic. Rubbing elbows with the Oscar people sipping champagne.
Oh, boy. I got a chance to see Sid tonight and Greg Kelly and Rita Cosby, and we all got called on stage by Mr. Catsimatidis. It was very nice, and it was just a wonderful time for all of us. Matt Blaze, I'll get back to you in just a minute here. Let's see. Let's go to Carlos, line 1 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Carlos, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, thanks for taking my call. You know, I listen to you all the time whenever I get a chance, and I watch New York politics from outside because I'm on the other side of the Verrazano Bridge in Elizabeth, and I'm fascinated by what's going on in both parties. So for 4 years, we had Eric Adams, who was elected because he was a former cop, and there was a big crime problem that de Blasio left behind, right? So Mondami's like de Blasio 3.0 plus. And the Republican Party chose Curtis. That didn't work out. We got the mess that was the mayor, Adams. And now, 4 years later, they repeat the same thing. So that election starts today. Mondami won. There's no changing that. Who is the Republican candidate in 4 years? Who do the Republicans choose? The Republicans were willing to vote for Cuomo. So you need somebody in the center. Curtis never changed his stripes. He was true to who he was. He was far right with all his, being Curtis. He's always been that way. If you followed him for a long time, he's been that way. He wasn't going to change, and that's what the Republican Party was left with. They had nothing else. It came down to that. So I think that far left wing of the Democratic Party is holding all Democrats hostage all over the country because they're united. They're united between that hate message, that emotion of hate. They play to that, and they know how to get that vote out, and they know it's going to come out, and they use it for Adams. They held their nose and they went for Adams because they knew that things were bad. They knew things were bad before, and to Adams' credit, he played that one, the race card, that he was colored, and two, that he was a cop. So that kind of brought enough people in the middle and said, okay, well, it's going to be a lot better than de Blasio again. But no Republican. Who is that guy? Who is that lady that right now should be organizing, getting commitments from the people, the power structure within the Republican Party and the machine, and saying, you know what, this is our guy, this is our message, we're going to stick with it. We start campaigning today. Because if you don't do that, you're going to get Mondami again. And 8 years of Mondami is going to be a lot worse than 8 years of de Blasio. Thank you for listening to Dominic.
I don't think Carlos, you're going to get Mondami again. I don't see that under any scenario. You asked
said that about de Blasio.
You asked when is the race going to start? The race has already started. In my humble opinion, I really believe that Andrew Cuomo is the mayor in waiting right now. If you listen to what Mr. Cuomo has now, I can't guarantee you that he'll emerge victorious from a Democrat primary. I don't know, but I think that he'll run a far different race than the one he did the last time. But if you listen to him on his radio show, it's like Mr. Cuomo is a counter right now to Mamdani. As far as the Republican Party, I'm going to say this, Carlos, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. I'm not going to speak of the past. I'm just going to say this. The Republican Party can't run clowns anymore. You can't do it. You can't run clowns and it's funny and blah, 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 because in a close race, as we just saw what happened, boom, you get somebody that can destroy the entire city. So it depends. And thank you for the great call, Carlos. It depends if Blakeman is able to pull off an upset victory in the race for governor in New York State. It's a classic 1-2 punch. If Blakeman can pull it off, then a Republican candidate might possibly, allegedly, whatever other conditions you want to put on it, might have a shot in New York. I don't know who that Republican is right now. I don't know. I don't know who that Republican is, but there are certain candidates that should never be permitted to ever run for anything ever again, because we've gone down the clown show route and it didn't work. Clowns need to stay at the circus and not run for mayor. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's go to Norman, line 2, Brooklyn. Norman, what's on your mind?
Oh, Dominic, did you get to actually see any of the Oscars, Dominic?
I'm not really an Oscars guy. I'm really not. But hey, Norman, you know what's funny though, and I'm going to give you your time, so don't worry about it here. You know what's funny that I don't know. My life is changing. I don't even really watch sports anymore. So because I'm so busy always doing something and trying to make sure that Matt Blaze don't set me up with food that I'm not supposed to have. He set me up tonight. He set me up, man. He set me up.
He
Norman.
gave you the bad food.
He gave me, hey, Norman, I thought about you and Matt Blaze the other day. I saw something online. This has to be a joke. It has to be a joke. We'll get to your point.
Okay.
But it's nasty. It was a bunch of rats on a meat tray that was in China. And they had a machine that skins them, fillets them, and then they made like chicken nuggets out of rats. Norman, please tell me that. Now, come on, Norman. Please tell me that's not true.
I don't know what the hell they're doing in China. I really don't know what they're doing in China, Dom.
And then every time I see these alligator videos, I think of you, Norman. What are you laughing at, Matt Blaze?
You think of me eating a rat, huh?
No, you're not a rat. You're a good guy. You see,
no, you're thinking of me eating them.
I could see you. You crazy enough, Norman, to try it. I could see you doing it.
Oh, thank you, Dom.
No, but I mean that with love. I mean that. You have a what?
I had a pet rat. His name was Ratsy. I could send you a picture of him. Maybe I'll send you a picture.
No, don't do that. You really had a pet rat?
Yeah, he was a white rat.
wait, Norman.
I had a white rat.
Norman, you messed up. Wait. Why it's got to be a white rat, Norman? Why couldn't it be a brother? Why couldn't it be a brother? Why couldn't it be a brother?
Those aren't. They're actually they're mulattoes. I mean, really, when you want to think about it, because they are black rats. They're just albino. You know.
So wait. Wasn't Ben? Right, Michael Jackson did the song. Wasn't Ben a brother rat?
He was a brother rat. Those were fancy English rats. They actually in England they actually have ratter societies where they raise them as like it's like kind of like in England it's kind of like established that they do that sort of stuff. So, they have like rat societies.
So we agree that Ben that's playing in the background. We agree that Ben was a brother rat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a brother.
He was a brother.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't consider he's a rat. I mean, he had black fur. I don't know what the skin was underneath there.
But your rat, I almost said cat. Your rat had white fur, right?
Yeah, he was. His body was a foot, and his tail was another foot. He was actually a wonderful pet. I had rabbits and all sorts of other things, and he was a wonderful pet. He sat on my shoulder.
Hey, Norman, Norman, I really like you, brother. What's wrong with you?
No, they make wonderful pets. I mean, listen, I'm not alone at this, Tom. If you go to Petco, they sell them there.
He's dying laughing at you, Norman. Why are you laughing so hard, Matt?
I can just think of Norm having a pet rat like in the Brady Bunch when they had the mouse and they had to hide it and it ate through the wicker basket and it was lost throughout the house. I can see Norm with the little rat on his shoulder.
He wasn't little. He was friggin' gigantic. He was gigantic.
Could your rat have eaten Beyonce the cat?
He never bit me. Well, once when I tried to like move his food dish one time inside the. I had a big.
Wait, Norm, your rat bit you because you took his food?
No, I didn't take his food. I had to like move his dish or something, and there must have been a nugget still in there that I didn't notice. So he was pissed and he bit me.
Now you didn't hear my question. Would your rat have been able to eat Beyonce the cat?
From what you tell me about Beyonce the cat, my rat would have kicked his ass.
You guys are insane. You guys are nuts. First of all, my cat is an old man. That's number one. Mm-hmm. He's at the stage, Norman, and we got to get to what you're calling about in a second. Okay, my cat is at the stage where he's hesitant to jump on the couch now. You know, and you see, Blaze is starting trouble. He's starting trouble because his dog, Samantha is her name, got kicked out of doggy daycare. And so now he's trying to take my cat down the drain with Samantha.
Not fair.
And so let's get off of rats. What's on your mind, Norman?
I was pissed at the Oscars because I wanted Marty Supreme to win. The only reason why I watched the Oscars is because I'm not saying this to kiss his butt, but the only reason why is because of my respect for Mr. Katzmatidis. I hadn't watched it in 10 years. So I said I wanted to watch it because I wanted Marty Supreme to win. And then I've come to the conclusion that there's no way that going up against that woke all-black production of Sinners, there's no way that those crazy people in the Oscars would have given that to Marty Supreme.
Okay,
That's
so
my
Norman,
opinion.
help me out. What is Sinners about? I didn't see the movie. All I know is
I think it's a black Southern vampire movie.
Oh, that's right. It's a vampire movie.
Right.
And that won the guy won for best. What's it? Michael Jordan. He won for best actor.
Yeah, he
correct?
won for best lead actor, and it won a whole bunch of awards. Yeah, and I mean that movie, that show in general, the Oscars. It's like 4 hours of my life I couldn't get back. Number one, when Javier Bardem went up there with the No War and Free Palestine, I mean, I'm like sick.
So we had the Free Palestine thing tonight because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. The Free Palestine, and what bothered me was the audience clapped, and they were all behind it. They say, it's like they're a bunch of lemmings in that that Oscar audience. They're all libs. They're stupid libs in particular, and politically very naive. And or evil. I don't know whatever way you want to look at it, but anyway, they were clapping and supporting that, and that bugged the hell out of me. And I'm going to say something. Safdie, who directed Marty Supreme, he's Jewish, and I believe he's Israeli. And let me tell you something. Don't with that audience and those Oscar voters. Don't think they didn't hold that against that. That the fact that the man is Jewish, okay, and the man is, it's like it's a different world now. That's all I can say.
Well, Norman, as always, I enjoyed your call and thank you for informing me about your rat and everything else. Look forward to chatting with you again soon. So, folks, what we're going to do at this point is take a break, and when we come back, I spoke to a remarkable retired police officer by the name of John Mancini. He says what's happening these days to the NYPD breaks his heart, and he starts it going back to the snowball incident. Remember that one? It seems like so much has happened since then. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Folks, sometimes you meet remarkable people. And recently, that happened to me when I met a New Jersey businessman in Nutley, New Jersey. His name is John Mancini. And John owns a oxygen bar, literally what it means, oxygen. You sit down, they give you oxygen. It really is a great location. Plus, he has part of it, professional massages, and he also owns a print shop. But he made his bones, if you will, as a police officer in West Orange, New Jersey. That's what he retired at. Great guy. I met his wife. I met his daughter. Really wonderful, great people. And I sat down with John Mancini, and I'm looking at my Twitter. Marianne says here, at Dominic TV, I can't stand the new mayor, and I can't stand his wife. He put together a horrible cabinet. He'll get away with a lot because everybody's afraid to be Islamophobic. You're probably correct about that, Marianne. But with John, we talked about how the NYPD is being treated these days. And John Mancini went back to, and it seems like so long ago, the incident where the police were hit with the snowballs in Washington Square Park, telling me that what's happening to NYPD these days is breaking his heart.
It actually rips my gut out. If that isn't bad enough to have a mayor say it was just a snowball fight.
With kids.
With kids. A fight constitutes, it goes both ways. Can you imagine if the cops ever threw a snowball back, what would happen?
It would be live at 5, 24-hour live trucks outside the police station. It would be CCRB in New York demanding the officer's head. It would be $1 million lawsuit. It would be racism. It would go on and on and on.
So to have a mayor that, and this isn't the first time that he's taken the side of the criminal. The stabbing was another incident. So to sit there and say, it was just a snowball fight, and he saw the video. I'm not really sure what video he saw, because what I saw was a blatant attack on our officers.
Absolutely. You mentioned the stabbing. The man schizophrenic, and it's horrible. You know, people have mental illness. But what's also horrible is those cops had no time to respond. They had just walked into the doorway, and this large man is charging towards them. A family member is trying to stop him, and he's got a butcher knife over his head. What are you supposed to do in a situation like that? And what does the mayor do? The mayor goes to visit him in the hospital. The cops have to go to the hospital. He doesn't visit the cops, and then he says there should be no charges against the man that started all of this. Do you think the blood of NYPD officers is also boiling over a situation like that?
100%. 100%. What you're going to find happening is right now they're sucking the life out of the job. The cops that want to work are going to be forced not to work, because your back's not going to be covered. You're going to be put in a situation, and even if you're right, you're wrong. So why would you lose your job on something like that? Nobody's going to be proactive anymore. 100%. They're just going to wait and get sent. It's not. It's the guys are just getting beaten. They're just getting beaten down, and that's the last thing you want. And the mayor just is not standing behind anybody. Look at how he's running the whole thing. New York is I don't think it's going to survive 3 years of him. I really don't think it'll survive.
3 years and 7 months. And then the police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, charges this clown, wants him charged with assault. District Attorney Alvin Bragg says, nope, slap on the wrist, obstructing governmental operation and harassment. A slap in the face to every police officer in America, yes?
100%. I think he was just arrested, 3 weeks before for robbery?
Yes.
So he's not a Boy Scout.
Right, he's not.
You know, so to say, why would you downplay that? Why would you reduce the charges on that? It is what it is. Call it what it is. But again, Alvin Bragg, not real friendly to the police. So this is what's going to happen, and you're going to see a mass exodus in New York, and to try and replace those guys they want to do social workers. Let me tell you, these calls go from 0 to 60 in about a second and a half. So you're not prepared for that. You know, you don't have time to say, well, let me call somebody. It doesn't work that way.
I just want to talk politics with you for a minute or two, and then we'll wrap this up. President Trump has this is my opinion, I want your opinion, has an opportunity to go down in history as the greatest president ever. How do you see the job he's doing?
Absolutely 100%. Now, can you just imagine the job he would do as if they would let him do his job? I mean, the Democrats have done nothing but fight him the whole way. How do you not stand up to say Americans first? How? All the questions he asked just proves that they're not behind it, and to them it's basically a political ploy. They're not looking to better America. Name me one thing they've come up with that's made anything any better. The only thing they do is fight Trump.
I can tell you one. They're the party of criminals.
Absolutely.
The party of illegals.
Can you imagine fighting that hard for us? Wouldn't that be nice? Isn't that what we put them in office for, to represent us?
To pay their salaries for.
And now there's I forget where it is, that they voted on a triple increase, 3 times the salary increase. Meanwhile, there's no cost of living raises for officers and the retirements. So how do you look at yourself in the morning with that?
John Mancini, retired law enforcement, West Orange, New Jersey. How did we get to this point where police around the country are so disrespected? And I mean, and when in my day when I was growing up, you know, in my community, many of us didn't have fathers, but we had a respect of the police, and you knew there's a certain line you don't cross, because if you cross that line, Houston, we got a problem. How did we get to this point?
I really think it was when pretty much Obama was in and Biden doubled down on it, that you weren't allowed to say anything. You know, if you said anything that made common sense, you got called every name in a book. It's common sense. It's just common sense. There is no more common sense anymore. And it was a slow decay where everybody had to keep their mouth shut. And I think that just got to the point where it got abusive, and the job is not what it was. It's not what it was. You know what I mean? And and it's not the officer's fault. It's not the officer's fault. They're in their trenches every day. They're caught between a rock and a hard place. You know, they're trying to do the right thing, and then they're getting beat down by the admin. So what do you want them to do? What's the answer for them to do? If you're going to tie their hands and they can't do their job, well, then you can't expect them to do their job.
Do you think we're going to continue to see the exodus of police officers leaving the NYPD, of police officers leaving large police departments across the country because of the horrible climate against officers?
Well, look at New York and look at Florida. Florida will give them a sign-on bonus, and they'll back them. Why would you stay in New York? All these big cities that are sanctuary cities where you can't do anything, why would you stay there? In Florida, Texas, they're all honoring law enforcement, give you sign-on bonus, take care of you, good equipment, back you up. So, yeah, I don't see why guys would stay.
And we'll have more of the conversation, an interesting conversation with John Mancini tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. on law enforcement, what's going on throughout the country. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 1, Rose, Long Island. Rose, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call. I agree 1,000% with Mr. Mancini. He's right on money about everything. I don't know how he got to this point. Well, I do know. You tell me why AOC keeps getting reelected. All right? And I'm afraid that this guy will get reelected, Mandami. I hope you're right. He's always said he's a one-time mayor. So I really think we need you to step into City Hall as mayor. I think you're the candidate. I really do. You're transparent. Your demographic is, you have a lot of support from women and men because you're transparent. We see who you are. You're fair, you're reasonable, you have a kind heart, and that's where you belong. And let's not forget Cuomo. He let out 57 cop killers, okay, when he was governor. So he's not all that. That's all I could say. But I want to be your campaign manager. That's it.
Well, Rose,
and America's grandmother, she has to be your deputy mayor. That woman, she's the best.
Gracie in Rockland County?
No, Gracie. I love Gracie, too. No, the woman who spoke at the RNC, and she had been arrested.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And,
I know you're talking about. And President Trump came to her defense. Well, all I can say, Rose, and I've got to take a break in a second. I don't know if politics is in my blood, but I can tell you this much. If I run for something, if I run for mayor, and I've never run for office before, I guarantee you I will be the next mayor. Because I will and I would run as a Republican. I guarantee you, if I run, I would raise the necessary money, and I'm not one of these hosts that's just, I'm not talking about a former candidate that just talks about it. If I say it, I'm going to be about it, and I will win.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
You know, folks, oftentimes these days, I'm trying to figure out what world I am living in. Maybe my day is past, and, it's time for me to just call it a day and go sit down somewhere, right? So what are you talking about, Dominic? Let me just say this. I support my friends in the transgender community. I really do. Let people live, but I feel that nothing should be pushed on anybody else. And with that said, I really am trying to figure out the world that I am living in. This is the mayor of New York City, Mamdani, announcing a transgender director in the city of New York.
I am so proud to announce that Taylor Brown will serve as the first director of the Office of LGBTQI+ Affairs.
Now more than ever in this moment, it is so critical, I think, to have trans leadership, because New York City is where the LGBTQ civil rights movement started, as Mayor Mamdani mentioned.
This office will be tasked with leading cross-agency policy design and coordination across government so that no New Yorker is forgotten or ignored.
So I get calls from transgender people, and they often help me understand what I don't understand, right? So, Matt Blaze, help me out here. And this is what I'm trying to figure out. So I have callers, and I'm going to get to Senator John Fetterman in a moment. I have callers that say transgender mean that you've had the operation and that, you know, you're becoming a woman, or you are a woman, as much as you can be a woman, right? So, Matt Blaze, what exactly is transgender?
These days, Dominic, I don't know anymore. We used to just say transvestite.
But you can't, that's not politically correct, I believe.
But now it's transgender.
Right, transgender. Now, does that mean you can simply put on a dress and boobs and say you're a woman? And
I guess it does, because you don't have to go through the full operation. And if you decide that you want to be called a woman, even though you're still not really a woman, I mean, you'll never be a real woman.
Right.
But if you go through the operation to get your man parts changed to women parts and you start taking hormones,
right,
and then you become if you were a man to a woman, you are now a trans woman. But are you a trans woman if, let's say, I decide tomorrow I'm just going to put on makeup and a dress and I'm be like, well, I'm a trans woman now, and you got to call me Melissa?
And how are we supposed to know if you're actually transgender or not?
We don't know, because I might decide the next day that I'm back to being Matt again. Who knows? You just make up what you want to be, and everybody's supposed to respect that. And nobody goes, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. If you want to be, look, I absolutely 100% believe that there are people that were born in the wrong body.
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed.
Case in point, Caitlyn Jenner, former Bruce Jenner, went through years of torture in his mind of dressing up as a woman, going out, was married. Everybody knew as this big star, the decathlon, the Wheaties box, the athlete, the actor, and would go out at night dressed up as a woman. I believe, and if you go, look, I wanted to be a woman 40 years ago, and finally now, because I have the means, I can actually do the transition when I'm in my 60s or 70s or however old former Bruce Jenner was. That's somebody who I think was born in the wrong body. You could see when kids are small, it's a boy, but they act like a girl, or vice versa. Those are people that were born in the wrong body. That's not learned behavior. That's absolute instinct. But now you have people that just decide one day, I'm going to wake up and go, I'm a woman, I'm a man. You know what? You need to call me they from now on. My pronoun is now they, them. And I've always said this, that it's such a power trip, because the only time you refer to somebody in the third person like that is when they're not around. But if they're in front of you, you're going to call them by their name. You're not going to say they. And we use they anyway when you describe a person as a pronoun. You can say, oh, they went here, they went there, and you're talking about one person. But now, how many times, and I've seen this a lot of times, like on TV, when a mother is talking to the daughter, and they'll say, your friend, and she went, and they go, no, Mom, it's they. They're a they now. It's not a she. The person's not even in the room. How do they know how you refer to them? I don't understand that. I don't get why it's so important for people to do that. I think it's really just, I want to be different, and I want to control and be pissed off when I find out that somebody didn't refer to me as the way I want them to.
Well, the bottom line is, and thank you, Matt Blaze, this is driving society crazy. We don't even know how to report the stories. You know, it involves a transgender person. We don't know whether to say he, she. We don't know, and it's I don't know. It's not helping society. But let me move on. We see all your calls. I'm going to get to Liz in Florida in just a second. Linda in New Jersey, Max in Manhattan, Benny in Bayside, Larry in Long Island. 800-848-9222. Senator John Fetterman. John Fetterman, I have a lot of respect for him. In a recent interview, he gets emotional talking about family. And I want you to really listen to this because he's keeping it as real gets. When he thought about taking his own life, when he thought about committing suicide, the Democrat senator from the state of from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, talking about family and about how he almost took his own life.
You write in the book about how hard your depression was on your family. How's your family doing now? And how has it been to have the conversations about that difficult time, not just for you, but for them?
Oh, they're so great now. Honestly, you know, my son is starting to look at his colleges, and you know, in a couple days when we're filming, he's going to take his last SAT, and now it's surreal to me that my son now is going to be starting college, and I can't believe I would have missed out all of it if I just decided to take my life. And every time I spend time with them, I can't believe I even entertain that awful thought. And that's why I try to tell people, like, please don't do that. Please, I'm begging to. Over the summer, I was driving out of Braddock, and I came up on a young person that was standing on the rail, and it seemed like he was getting ready to a bridge to jump. And I pulled over, and I wasn't sure. I didn't want to scare him or spook him, but I got out and I was like, please, no, you don't have to do this. Please, please, please. I'm begging you. And then he turned around, looked at me. And at that moment, I was like, please, I hope he doesn't use that to jump. And then he stepped down, and I said, man, you don't have to do this. I promise you. And then he just turned around and walked back into town. And how awful, that poor young man decided to walk out of town and find a place to jump off a bridge. And I could have been there. I've had that conversation. I don't know what's happened to him now. I hope he's still in the game, because if he is, that means he could be on the path to get better.
And your family's okay?
Fantastic. Honestly, fantastic.
And if the Democrats ever want to win another election, they need to listen to Fetterman. But I love this guy because he's real. Not going to lie to you. At first, I thought he was a complete nut job, walking around with the hoodies and so on. But he's proven to be a voice of reason. He's willing to give President Trump credit and acknowledgement when it's well-deserved. But even this senator thought hard about taking his own life. Folks, please, don't do it. There's always help. What may seem like horrible now, as the senator just said, 5 years from now, you might be able to look back and laugh at this situation. So in the last hour, which was local, now we're national, we received a call from Norman in Brooklyn, and for some reason, we were talking about rats. Somehow I brought up rats, and he said one of his pets, don't ask me why, folks, was a rat, a white rat. And he said that I want him to send me a picture, and I said no. But he sent the photo of the rat apparently to Liz in Florida, and she's standing by. So, Liz, do you have a picture of this rat?
Okay, I'm deleting it. I'm begging you, please, no more RAC talk. It makes me cringe, and I will not be able to sleep well tonight.
Well, can you go ahead and post it, or can you send me a picture of the rat? I want to see the rat now. Is it a big, ugly rat?
To me, like Norman says, "Oh, but they're so cute and they're pets," and I'm like, no,
right? No. But I've never met a
I
woman that likes a rat ever.
Definitely not. Okay, don't even make that sound. That
You don't like the sound?
no, I don't.
Really? But I want you to send me a picture of the rat. Is it a fat rat?
I'm going to have him do it. Norman, send him a picture. I'm deleting it.
Okay, so Norman, send me a picture of this rat. I want to see the rat now. Now, Liz, does the rat look like the type of rat that would bite me?
I'm not looking at it again. I'm just asking you, please.
Yeah.
You know what? People, I guess they're not eating dinner now or snacking, but it's in your mind. You know, everything that you talk about. Okay, stop it.
Everything that you talk about.
Yeah, you retain it and you think about it, and I don't want to think about that. I'm trying to get it out of my head.
The rats.
So let's talk about something else.
Okay,
I have this idea.
What do you want to talk about?
Okay.
What's your idea?
Okay. This is my idea. You know, I think. All right.
It's not me, Liz. It's not me. It's not me. That's your friend, Matt Blaze. That's him.
Matt, thank you. Matt.
He's laughing.
Okay. Oh, my gosh.
See, he wants the rat to eat my cat, but it's not going to happen.
So let me. All right. So this is what I thought. I really. We need to investigate. Now, we think we know who Mamdani really is, but I want to know if he gives charity and to whom. I'd like to look into his books to see if he's giving to American charities or overseas to possibly, terror organizations.
Hey, Liz, I'm late for a break, but do you think, because it hit me this weekend, do you think Mamdani and his wife are doing a good cop, bad cop with their anti-Semitism?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're evil. They really are. And if you, like you said, you just go on the media, everyone sees that and knows that. But I think that Rose was right. You really need to do something. I think you're our leader, Dominic.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
The pressure, right?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But think you could save New York City. You could save the world.
1001, 1002, 1003. Hey, Liz, thank you for the call. I wish I had more time. Liz, Blaze set me up tonight with all that food. Oh, you should have seen all this food at this Oscars party. But I'm like 3 minutes late for a break, Liz. So thank you for the wonderful call. I'll pick back up in terms of commenting on you in just a moment. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to the phones we go. Line 2, Linda in New Jersey. Good morning, Linda. What's on your mind?
Well, good morning, Dominic. I'd like to say that Mamdani is complaining about Islamophobia, but for the American people to have Islamophobia is not the biggest deal. The biggest deal is Americans that have lost their family, friends, and neighbors in 9/11, and that's the biggest deal. We've lost a friend in the plane. He was on one of the planes. Richard Gabriel was a good friend of the family's, and I could tell you his life story, but I won't. My son's best friend, John, in grammar school, his father died in 9/11 in the tower, and his mother, he was only a grammar school kid, his mother lost her mind and had to go to a mental institution, leaving the two other children, destitute. I mean, they had to go with other family members. My husband was in the first bombing. He worked for the BAE systems in the World Trade Center, and he was in the first bombing, the basement bombing. They came back a few years later to finish everybody off, and many people knew it. and change jobs. And my husband was one of those people that changed the job after the bombing. He came home 6 hours late, covered in black soot. It was unbelievable. No subways were running. It was. I still have post-traumatic stress disorder to a certain degree, and other people have it. It's commonplace. Most of us, there were so many people that died, over 3,000 people, that many of us have a family member, a neighbor, or a good friend that have died in 9/11. So for him to come off Mandami as some kind of princess complaining about Islamophobia, I mean, is disgraceful. He should have more compassion for what actually happened that day and why people might have Islamophobia.
I agree with you, Linda. I really believe that Mamdani and his wife are doing a classic good cop, bad cop. He's trying to come off as the good cop as it relates to anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Thank you so much for the wonderful call. So I've got to take a break. Coming up a bit later in the program, we're going to go to Deirdre in New Jersey, Max in Manhattan, Peter in New Jersey, Martin, upstate New York. The number to reach us live, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
So, at the wonderful Oscars party just a short time ago by the owners of this network, the Red Apple Audio Network's John Catsimatidis, who is in the movie Marty Supreme. The movie was nominated for an Oscar. It didn't win, but Margot Catsimatidis, John Catsimatidis, they threw a wonderful Oscars party, and I'm not an Oscars guy. And at the party, I was pulled aside by the company president, Mr. Chad Lopez. And thanks to you folks, I always believe in sharing the good news with you. Mr. Lopez explained to us that the ratings for this program right now, right here, right now, that the ratings are through the roof, that they are trying to figure out the next move now that the ratings are through the roof. And so, indicative of that, one of my last posts on Instagram, thanks to you great folks, it's on Mamdani's wife and her Instagram likes and so on, which are very, she reliked posts that are very anti-Semitic and so on. And on one of those posts just a few days ago, it has 8,000 likes and 600,000 views. So it does indicate the ratings that we are getting. But the reason why I'm pointing that out to you, as I said, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out if you're a political reporter. And I say here in the post, they kept her away during the campaign. This is just the beginning of what we're going to find out, right? What's the best way I can say this? You can look at the face of the First Lady. I'm sorry, you can look at her face and tell she's not down with the American agenda. You can look at her face and tell. So that's how I could comfortably make that comment. And sure enough, drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. More and more is coming out. She did a sketch for someone with anti-Semitic views. Oh, it was a third-party deal she didn't know. That's hogwash. Even when it's a third-party client, there's a connection between the illustrator and the person that's hiring. You exchange via email or a telephone call. Mamdani goes, oh, my wife is a private citizen. They're running a good cop, bad cop on all of us. And he thinks that he's just so slick. the socialist mayor of New York City, who's 34 years old. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Deirdre, line 1, New Jersey. Young lady, what's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call, Dominic. Oh, my God, I've been hearing so much stuff. But I was going on the thing of I'd rather have a hamster as a pet than you're talking about the rats. Rats are only good for experimental when it comes to human sociological experiments.
So wait, Deirdre. So Norman just sent a copy of his rat, and it's a rat. It's not a hamster. It's a rat. So Deirdre, who in their right mind? And I love Norman. Who in their right mind would have a rat as a pet?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can have, to me, rats are only good for experimental with human behavior. They're the closest to human behavior in a sociological aspect. I wouldn't have that as a pet. Hamsters make better pets. But I was going on another tangent when it came to transgender stuff. It all happened back in 1977 with Renee Richards, which is Dick Richards, but he transgendered to Renee Richards. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, well, he did the U.S. Open Tennis Association.
Okay, but wait. But Deirdre, wait. You said he transgender, because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what does transgender mean. Does that mean like Matt Blaze said, that you take the pills, that you change your sexual part? You know. Oh.
He did. Yes, he did. And then the only one who caught him was a male friend that went to high school with him, and then said, "That's not Renee Richards. I know him."
Oh, so wait. So he did all this on the low, on the down low?
Yes. And then he got caught. Okay, 1970. He got caught, but he went into court, and it was ruled in his favor. But now, if you ask his stance in it all, as it all went all over, he's not for it. I saw a documentary on it, and he is so saddened that he actually went down that route. To do tennis.
So before I let you go, what does transgender mean to you?
Oh, no, where they actually do the hormonal things, what he did. They took the hormones.
Okay, so let's say you do all of that. Does that mean that the individual is a woman, in your opinion?
Absolutely not. No. That just messes up their mind. And that's when, if you see the documentary, he's like, he knows he went all wrong.
So Deirdre, as a woman, in your opinion, why do you think transgenders want to be accepted as a woman?
I don't know if they listen. There's a difference between cross-dressers, transgenders. They want to be accepted, but in the world, Jesus Christ, Dominic, you got me. You stumped me on that one. I accept them no matter what, whatever you want to be. I don't know why they fight so hard for something that I don't believe they should be in sports. Absolutely not. And most of them don't. I don't even think Bruce Jenner agrees that they should play in women's sports.
Right, he does not.
No, he does not. And neither does Renee Richards. After they did all they did, and Renee Richards competed against the women, he's like, I should not have done that. And he openly admits it in his life story. I should not have done that. It's not fair. But he even openly admits it.
Yeah, I'm at a loss of words, Deirdre, to be honest with you. I really do support the transgender community. I just don't understand. Is this that important to you that you wanna confuse all of society? Because
Exactly.
because that's what's happening. That's
Exactly.
what's happening. So, Deirdre, thank you for the lovely call. And so let's see. I see a number of you folks want to talk about the rat issue. You see, Matt Blaze, what you started. You think it's funny. You think it's funny about the rats, right? And then I'm talking to Norman, and Norman's telling me he's got a white rat. And then I point out Ben in the movie with Michael Jackson, and Ben is a black rat. And you know what's the? I don't know, Matt Blaze. You know the difference between a black rat, and a white?
I have no idea. I saw that rat. It was a mouse. I don't know.
Well, you think it's a mouse?
It was a rodent. I couldn't even tell like how big it was or small just from the picture. But it doesn't matter.
It's fat.
It was just a rodent. I don't think rodents are good pets. Not a rat or a mouse. I guess a hamster is a rodent. I don't know. What would you want a rat for?
And you know, if you have a snake, right? Since we're going down this path,
yeah,
you go to the pet store and you buy a hamster and you put the hamster in the tank and then bang.
Yep. My friend used to have garter snakes, and we used to try to do that. We used to put like a goldfish in the snake cage and try to see it and try to watch it to eat the goldfish. I don't think it ever did. This is a garter snake,
right?
But I know people that had big snakes, boa constrictor, and they feed it like a live rat, or a live mouse.
Oh,
it only eats like once a month. Snakes don't do anything. I used to say I wanted a snake. And then I realized
why would you want a snake?
Well, they
man?
don't, because they don't do anything. They just kind of sit in their cage. You take it out, it kind of looks cool. But then I found out that snakes don't attach to you like in the way a dog does or a cat. They have no idea really who you are.
I'm not talking about dogs, because if I say anything about a dog, you want to talk about my cat. And I'm not going there. But so our ratings are sky high. To get them to go even higher, either you or me, one of us has to shave our head. Which one is going to do it?
Well, I think you already did it. So that takes care of that.
Ba-doom-doom. Let's go to Peter. Let's go to Max in Manhattan first. Line 3. Max, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thank you for taking my call. Last week you had on a woman who spoke Arabic and English, and she was warning us on the dangers of Islam. She was Christian. You didn't, and the rest of us you didn't mention, but she's Christian Lebanese. Her name is Bridget Gabrielle. I'm mentioning her name because it wasn't mentioned earlier, and I think it would be good if everyone looked her up. She's spoken on the subject many times.
All right, Max, get to the point, please.
That is. Her name is Bridget Gabrielle.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 1. Francine in Brooklyn. Francine, what's on your mind?
I'm calling about the lady who claimed that Renee Richards should not have did what she did, but at that time.
Well, she said that she said. Wait, please, Francine, help me. Am I supposed to refer to
her name? Renee Richards is a she. Okay, she had the surgery, so she's a she.
Okay, so that means
I don't know what the big pushback is about the transgender people. Why don't they leave the trans people alone?
Because the big push is
let them live their lives.
Because the big push is that she was born a man.
Right, but she had the surgery, so in my eyes, she's a woman. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, well, that's what you say, but that's not what society says.
Well, that's their problem. Do you know Mandami appointed a transgender czar?
Really?
And yes, she was on the news yesterday, and I'm so happy.
Clearly, you're not listening to the radio, because we just did it 10 minutes ago. Well, actually, about 40 minutes ago. Same exact story. But so you see, Francine, you've helped me in the past with transgender issues, and you say that's it. It is what it is. But no, society doesn't see it that way.
Well,
Society, let me finish, and then you can have your say. There are many people that see this as sheer mental illness.
Well, that's their problem.
Right, that's their problem, right? That's society's problem. It's not the transgender person's problem, right? It's society's issue.
Because I went through what I went through, and I don't consider myself mentally ill. I'm very happy.
I don't think you're mentally ill at all either. But you do sound defensive.
Right. Well, I was upset with what she was saying. So I just wanted to call in and voice my opinion. That's all I wanted to do.
Right. Okay. So how do we solve the problem?
There's nothing to solve. Just let
There's
trans
nothing to
people
solve.
live their lives.
Wait a minute, Francine. You have people that are transgender that are killing people in mass murders, and you're telling me there's nothing to solve?
There were three.
No,
three in the last 3 years.
And you don't think that's three too many?
What about heterosexual people that kill people all the time?
Okay, so we're gonna play the game of you ask me a question, I ask you a question.
No, I'm just telling you that this happens as of late. I'm sorry to hear about these trans people that are killing people, and it's wrong. It's definitely wrong. It should not be. But we're 1% of the society, and I think they should leave them alone.
Fair enough, Francine. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Dave in Pennsylvania. Dave, what's on your mind?
Dominic, simple question. If you neuter a male dog, is it still a male or does it become a female?
If you neuter a cat, like Beyonce, and I thought it was Beyonce, I'm only joking. It's still a male dog.
Genetically, it's still a male dog, so case solved, mystery over. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, Dave. Boy, I don't know. Matt Blaze, how do we get to the bottom of this one?
That's not the same thing. Neutering is like a guy going to get a vasectomy. It's not getting rid of your parts. You don't get rid of the dog's parts. You just make it so it can't reproduce. That's not the same thing. And I agree. Look, I said this. Caitlyn Jenner is a former Bruce Jenner. If you had the surgery, you are now a trans woman. It's the people that don't get the surgery that just wear dresses, wear makeup, and say, I'm a woman. No. Those people call
the
themselves
killer
trans.
in Rhode Island, he was taking the hormones. Did he have the surgery? I don't remember.
I don't know. If you're taking the hormones and if you're going that far, you're taking hormones and you're going to have surgery. I don't know if they plan to have surgery or whatever. That I can understand. And mean you're now a trans woman.
Okay, what about the swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania? He apparently was taking the drugs, and the female swimmers said that they saw him in the locker room, and he had one of the biggest penises they ever saw in their life.
Well, he's not. He's still a man. That's still a man. Because you didn't have the surgery. You're still a man.
I need a psychiatrist. It's that simple. Folks, it's time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to the phones we go. Line 4, Peter in New Jersey. Good morning, Peter. What's on your mind?
Hey, hi there, Dominic. Thanks for taking a call. I called, in the beginning of the campaign. We're going to talk about the campaign a little bit, where Sliwa was running in the beginning. I called your office, your show, and I was, saying to you, I don't know if you remember the call at all, that he wasn't saying enough about what he's going to do for New York, and that he wasn't criticizing Mandami enough. That's what I called about that. So it's his fault about a campaign, but then I switched to it's really the voters' fault though that are in New York. What kind of voters are they that vote for Democrats? You ask them in the street, you like the taxes? No. You like this? No. You like that? Then I would ask them, well, who'd you vote for? They vote for people that are killing them with policy, and they still vote Democrat. We got to get to them voters. That's who it is. It's not Sliwa so much.
You're never gonna get to those voters. They don't. I'm not trying to offend people. They're not. I don't know who you're talking about, but they're not that well informed, and they're voting based on free. Who's promising the most free stuff?
We got to try to hammer at them. Like they hammer at us. Everything's wrong with the Republicans. Well, everything's wrong with that too.
Okay, but Peter, you didn't listen to what I just told you. What the key is. If you're a slick enough politician, as Mom Donnie is, you promise free, and they'll be loyal to you for life.
I know what you're saying, but then you ask the voter, Do you like this? You like to get in high taxes?
I'm going to say again, Peter, you're not, Peter, you're not hearing me.
Yes, I am.
They promise you go to the hood and promise free, and it's a wrap.
If we don't keep the promise.
Okay, Peter,
right?
You're not listening to me. All right, thank you for the call. Let's see here. Let's go to Benny, line 1 in Bayside. Benny, what's on your mind?
Hey, the first time you filled in on a weekend, about 2015, I got through about 3 times. I begged you to run. And I got through about 2 or 3 times begging you to run. Do you remember that at all, Dominic?
Benny, nothing but love to you, brother. I can't remember sometimes what happened last week, man. You talking about
bacon and cheese yesterday.
You talking about 3 years ago?
No, really.
No,
I really begged
11
you
years
to
ago.
run.
11 years ago.
And
wow.
Anyways, I got dumped out. Anyways, but seriously, as far as rats and mice.
Oh, here we go, rats again.
Dude, I'll change the subject like that. Rats only have 2 things: reproduce and eat. Mice, on the other hand, they want to they want to navigate everything. Mice are a lot smarter than rats than you ever would think.
Okay, fair.
And
Mamdani, quickly. Mamdani
will kill every little renter in New York by raising everything.
Right. Thank you. And that's exactly what he's doing. Let's go to Paul in Connecticut. Paul, you got 20 seconds. Go ahead, please.
My quick view on the transgender. I had a neighbor, Cosette, or his name was Bill, but he'd be Cosette once he put on the high heels, fishnet stockings, fake breasts, a mini skirt.
Matt Blaze, don't laugh. But that's Paul. That's not transgender, right? Matt Blaze, that's not transgender, right? Not transgender.
Yeah, that's just cross-dressing.
That's just cross-dressing. Matt Blaze, you didn't stop me from eating all that great food. You got to get me a psychiatrist so I know how to report on transgender, cross-dressing, mouse, rats, the world that we live in, and my cat Beyonce.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?